All right, we're live. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, wherever you are. Welcome to this Bold and Raw Talks with me, Benjamin, together with my guest, Lydia Tett Olet. Every Monday, we try to come here live on Facebook and also on my YouTube channel to talk about parenting. And today marks the 11th edition of our topic about parenting. So that means we have done more than 10 topics about parenting, especially for teenagers. So if you're going to be watching this video for the first time, I hope you can go to my YouTube channel, Benjamin Junior Bogonko, and check out the other topics we have been doing together with her, especially the last 10 topics. And we want to apologize for the last 1 month, especially the month of May. We couldn't be able to continue with this show, but finally we are here back again, like we never left before, to continue with these discussions every Monday. So the show is every Monday around this time, that is 6 p.m. the United Kingdom time, especially if you're living in the UK or Europe, 6 p.m. every Monday. And also if you're living in East Africa, from 8 p.m. On Mondays. And any other place where you're staying, if you're staying in West Africa, South Africa, or you're living in Middle East or in the US. In the US right now where I'm staying, Central Time is midday, 12 p.m. in the afternoon. So please like and follow the page, and also check out Lydia Tett Olet's Facebook handle, which I will be giving you later on during the show, so that you can keep in touch, turn on the notifications so that you can be watching this specific show on Mondays, or you can catch a repeat on YouTube. So let me know where you're watching us from. Prepare your questions on the comments there as I'm allowing my guests to continue sharing this video. And thank you so much for those who are tuning in. If you're a parent, this is your show. If you're a parent to be, this is your show too, whether you're a father or a mother. And I always like beginning by asking, are you a parent? Are you a proud parent? Type there on the comment, I'm a proud daddy of 2 daughters. I'm a proud daddy of a son. I'm a proud mommy of 2 daughters. Type there on the comments if you're a proud parent and you're enjoying this show. So Lydia is coming shortly. She's sharing the video, and I want to encourage you, please, to share this video as much as you can. As a parent, please tag your fellow parent. You never know. The topic we are talking about here today about boundaries. Raising children has become more challenging for so many parents, including you who is watching this. Whether you're staying with them or they are far away from you, it has become and is getting more and more challenging. So that's why you need to tune in here, listen to what people are saying and what Lydia is saying, and that might help you in raising your children. Lydia, are you ready?
Yeah.
All right. There you go.
Thank you.
welcome, Lydia. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Long time. It's been almost
I know.
4 weeks.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow, that's been a long time, man. I've missed you. I've missed our audience. I've missed the topic. You know, there's a lot I've been missed.
Yeah, me too. I was feeling like, wow, this show has finally come to an end.
And this is one show that cannot come to an end, Benjamin. Because this is the beginning of our existence as human beings, to raise healthy children to the community tomorrow. So this is the beginning of existence. So this cannot be.
This one cannot
finish. Cannot end.
Wow. So viewers, welcome here. I can see some of you are commenting there, like Jennifer Angom says, I'm proud of 3 kids, all boys. So Jennifer, you see Lydia here. Jennifer is proud of 3 boys, but I know you, Lydia, you are proud of 3 daughters.
3 girls.
Elizabeth Munene, proud mommy of my one and only son. Bless you, Elizabeth. Aisha says, I'm a proud mom of 2 sons. Let me see another proud parent here. Eva Nyab, I'm a proud of 3 boys. Wow, today we have ladies who have 3 boys.
A lot of boys today.
Last born, Shamaurina Maya, I'm proud single parent of 2 babies. All right, thank you. Vicky Morama Kori, yes, proud mom of 18 years, girl. 18. 18 is where we want to focus on. What boundaries can you give an 18-year-old? Should she go out and spend a night out, or it's a no? If you have a daughter with 18, we're going to be talking about that shortly. Let me see another proud parent here on the comment section. Jennifer Angom, I'm proud of 3 kids, all boys. Okay, we've seen that one. Leah Imbosa Mutamba, I'm proud of one kid. Thank you so much. Share the video. Rana Ruth, proud mama. Isaac Awore, hello there. Precious Case, proud mother of 2 kids. Sharita Nabs, proud mother of 4 children. Wow, amazing. Last one is Sherry Baby. I'm a proud mommy of 2 boys. Okay.
Wow.
Tag your friends there on the comments. Helen Chepioso says, Benjamin, say hi to Lydia. I missed her so much.
Oh, bless.
So Helen is saying she really, really missed you, and we also missed you guys. Thank you so much, Helen. Thank you for tuning in, and we really appreciate your time to join us today. Leila is proud of 2 daughters, and they are twins.
Wow, that's hard work.
That's hard work, eh?
Yes.
So twins wakiamua kukua vichwa ngumu wote wawili utafanyaje, Leila?
Unasida, iko sida.
Zambia is watching. Nda Junior, I'm a proud mother of 4 kids. Randa Anes, thank you so much. I'm a proud mom of 16-year-old boy, Seram Valo. Tune in here as a mother raising a teenager who is a boy. How can you create boundaries between you and him? We need to find out today. Hailin Gisare, proud of 2 kids. So Lydia, let's start off. Thank you so much everyone who has been commenting there. We want to appreciate. I can't read all your comments because of time. Let's begin this discussion together with my guest, Lydia. Lydia, as I mentioned earlier on, she's from Kenya. She lives in the United Kingdom, and she has been blessed with 3 daughters who will be coming to this show in the next few sessions. Me and her, we promised each other to bring her own daughters to come and share their experiences so that we can learn what she's saying and telling us what their daughters are. What her daughters are going through. And Lydia, I would like you to pick up from there. Remind them that you are not...
I'm not a counselor. I always say that, I'm just a parent. I'm not a counselor. I'm not a psychiatrist. I'm not a coach. I'm none of those. I'm just a parent who has so much passion about seeing the youths grow, seeing children being brought up in a disciplined way. I'm a parent who I've gone to a lot of courses. I've done a lot of courses. I've attended a lot of seminars for parents. And I did that when my firstborn was just 6 months. And now she's 24. So this is something that I've done for long, and I've worked with a lot of youths as well. So that's all this woman is. So I'm not in any profession but I've got experience. They say experience is the best teacher. So that's what I bring to you. I just bring to you experience. So thank you so much, guys, for tuning in.
Thank you so much. Lydia is her name, as you can see there on the screen. Lydia Tett Olet. Lydia, let me. How can I do it? Just a moment. Yes, that is her name, Lydia Tett Olet. You can find her on Facebook, I believe. Facebook only. Are you on other platforms?
Instagram as well. I'm not very social person savvy. Like I told you last time, I only know Facebook and Instagram. I'm stuck there.
All right. So if they want to get you, they can get you on Facebook, Lydia Tett Olet. That is the name on Facebook. And let's begin our discussion now. The previous discussions which we had, you were asking me earlier on before we started. We talked about how to speak with teenagers.
Yes.
Sometimes
it's not easy, Benjamin. We get it wrong all the time. We are and I'm not a perfect parent as well, and my children are not perfect. And before I start the show, I always say thank you so much, Benjamin, for this platform. I saw one day somebody telling you that you should talk about, the person said don't talk about sex. I remember reading that, and I was laughing because of the way you responded to the person. And you said, look, we have to talk about, you cannot please everybody, and everything. Something like sex is part of people's life, and that is what brought me and brought you as well in this world. So we need to talk about it, because if we don't talk about it, then that is when we see a lot of our children, 15 years old, 14 years old, 16 years old, pushing prams in the streets. Or in the Western world, we say they're pushing pram because they can afford it. But if they're in Kenya, we see all these young girls who are 13 even, or 14, and they've had sex already, and they have children. That's because we didn't want to talk about it. So the lady who was telling you don't talk about this, I don't even know which planet she lives in. That's the woman who
She
probably
she really got into my nerves.
yeah, one day
Yes.
she just see her 10-year-old, and God forbid, or 13-year-old coming home with a baby because she didn't know what sex is. Because some children are so naive, they don't even know that through this they can actually get pregnant. Through this they can actually get diseases. Through this they can get any sexual disease, or they can get pregnant, early pregnancy. And then what do? Probably their parents cannot even afford them looking after them, and then they go and bring another child as well. And then it's just a cycle of poverty and poverty and poverty over and over again. So there are some topics that you cannot shy away from them. There are some topics that regardless you have to talk about them. So that's why I so much appreciate your platform, Benjamin, because you talk about everything that cuts across, from parenting to sex to health to healthy living to everything. So I appreciate your platform. So thank you so much. So just going back to what we spoke about, we've spoken about sex, we've spoken about respect, and today we're talking about boundaries. It's and even if you look, if you go and Google about boundaries, every time you Google about bringing up a child, they always say start early. Everything is about early.
Yes.
Start early. So I know that some parents have children. Like the other day I was in a shop, and this little child, the child is so tiny and so cute, telling a parent shut up, or beating the parent. And because they're so small, some parents look at it and say, oh my God, this is so cute. It is not cute. Because that child, the same way the child is growing saying shut up to you, or the child is growing up slapping you, the child will know that is okay, because at that time you're embracing that bad behavior and saying it's cute. So by the time the child is 4 or 5, it's not cute anymore, because now this child is older. But this is what they're used to. They're used to, if mommy does this to me, or daddy does this, or I can say shut up to mommy, I can slap mommy, I can say anything to mommy, and it's okay because it's cute. So now how do you now turn telling this child is cute from when they're 1-year-old to this is a wrong behavior at 5 years old? You're confusing this child. Because the child will look at it and
difficult.
Yes, because the child will look at you and say, but just yesterday you were telling me it's cute. Now you're telling me I shouldn't use those words. Why? So boundaries have to be set earlier. What I hate the most, and a lot of parents do this a lot, and this is something that I personally I've never done, is when you have a phone, the child is crying for a phone. And because as parents, there's something we say, for peace sake, we just want peace. Maybe you're from work, and then you take your phone and give it to a child. You take your phone and give it to a child. That is something I'll never do. And that is something that a lot of parents do. And now the child knows that if I cry for something, they're going to give it to me.
I will get it.
I'll get it. That's why you see some children in the supermarket. They start crying. And then, I want chocolate. And the parents say, oh, sorry, darling, we can't buy today. They start crying and they get it. So boundaries are things that you have to set them at an early stage. And if you say no, it has to be a no. Nothing should turn you from that no and now say yes. Because if something turns you from no to say yes, the child will also know what they can do to you for you to say yes.
Wow. That's where we are beginning from. Boundaries. Today we are talking about boundaries. So if you're a parent, if you're a father, fathers are very close to their daughters, the same way mothers are sometimes close to their sons.
Their sons, exactly.
I want to ask you as a viewer, as you're watching and tuning in here, please don't go away. If you're a parent, these are some of the shows that you just want to spare a few minutes to listen. If you're driving, if you're at home, if you're free, if you're at work, if you're in your bed, please spare a few minutes to just catch what Lydia and the people are commenting there on the comments on Facebook and on YouTube to listen about these things. I feel really, really so unfortunate that a parent can bump into this discussion and then move away quickly and run away and say, oh, let me go and do other things. This one, you just tune in, even if it's 10 minutes, those 10 minutes can save you together with your son or your daughter. But I want to ask you as a viewer, what is boundary according to you? Before checking on Google. I am a teacher, so I like the definitions of words. What is boundary according to you? What is boundary of a parent, especially of a parent and a child? And I want to ask you the same question, Lydia, according to you. What is boundary according to Lydia and the three angels? Not just the definition of the word boundary, but as a parent and your child, what does boundary mean?
Boundary, to me personally, the way I take the word boundary, there are rules and regulations that have been set up that should never be broken, or should never be taken advantage of or taken for granted, because there are rules and regulations that direct us to the right path or the right direction of either your well-being, or your mental state of mind, or your upbringing. So boundaries are rules and regulations that are set to direct us to the right path as parents, and also direct us to the right path as children, and also help us to bring our own children up. And these boundaries should not be broken, should not be taken for granted, or should not be taken advantage of. They should actually be respected.
By both
And those
the
boundaries
parent
are
and the
both,
child.
both the parents and the child. And these boundaries are boundaries that should not be compromised. There's no compromisation on this. No compromise when it comes to boundaries.
It's like I'm waiting for your definition as a viewer there on the comments section. As you have heard, Lydia is saying for her, boundary are rules and regulations that they have agreed between her and her daughters. If you do this, these are the consequences, and they don't change. I believe they have sat down and discussed them and have written them down. You remember last time when we had one of the lessons, one of the sessions, somebody was asking questions about rules. Can we change the rules? Can they be broken? And you see, even for me as a teacher, schools are managed by rules and regulations. Every parent is given a copy. The students are given copies. These days, we force even students to sign because it has become more difficult. As I keep on saying that the students these days do not listen. They have become more powerful than the teacher. So the teacher, his or her job is to stand in front of the classroom and talk and present his or her lesson, and the lesson is over. So the powers of controlling these boundaries for so many teachers all over the world have totally reduced, and this makes it even more difficult. And if the teachers who spend a lot of time with your children cannot put these rules and followed by the students, then that means the child will become abnormal and start misbehaving, or the mental well-being will be affected. So according to you on the comments, let me quickly read here, Lydia. According to me, Nora says, boundaries are limits on how to do things, what to do and what not to do. Thank you so much, Nora. Thank you. Sarah Mvalo, I think, has checked on Google very quickly. I think it is a line that one cannot be protruded. Things that I will not tolerate as a parent. Dahlia Richardson, I think boundaries means to communicate what you will accept between parent and child. Thank you. And finally, Rose Kengocha anasema, hey, I have raised mine the kissy way.
It works for some.
Kissy way, I don't know whether it means a very tough way. And we are moving now to after the definition of boundaries. You know, Lydia, boundaries come with strictness and not being strict. You don't want to be a strict mother, but you also want to be a strict mother. You want to be a tough mother, but also you don't want to be a tough mother. So that line, what Angel, let me see here. Angel Ruth says, boundaries is where you draw the line. Sasa ukivuka hapa, where you draw the line. Like what you talked about the first time you saw your teenager kissing, you know, where you draw the line between you and the child
and somebody.
Yes. Continue sharing the video. Jennifer, one more definition here. Jennifer Ngom, to me, there are things that a parent are supposed to do and stop as a parent and a child. I don't know what she means there, what things to stop to do. But at the end of the day, these boundaries, Lydia, you said, is to create well-being of your child.
Of yes, a well-being
and
of
also
both.
the parent.
Yes. Because remember, children is like people who are Christians, right? We don't like when God discipline us. We don't like when we always want. We pray to God and we say, I want this, Father, I want this. When God doesn't give you what you want, you feel like, oh, God is letting you down, or God is this, or God is that. It's the same thing with children. Children don't like discipline, but they don't want to be disciplined, but they need the discipline. They don't want it. It's a need, because there's a difference between a need and a want. A need is something you cannot live without. The need is a necessity that you cannot live without. Children cannot live without discipline. They cannot live without boundaries. That is why, because it's a necessity, boundaries are necessity. When it's not there, and because it's a need, and then when that need is not there, that's why you see when children, look, in the UK right now, we are talking 74% of children, Black children, are in prison, because there's a lot of people who have not put boundaries. And now, because the boundaries are not there, and this is a necessity that is needed for the upbringing of a child, for their mental state of mind, they need boundaries. They need discipline. For them to grow up tomorrow as good community leaders or a good community people in the society for themselves, they need that. They need the boundaries. So parents must have boundaries, and these things have to be put there earlier. And even if you did not do it earlier, it's never too late. We always say it's never too late. You can still start creating something. And yes, boundaries, it has to be a balance. It has to be a balance of strictness and not strictness. It's the same thing. Okay, if you beat a child with this hand you hug them and tell them why you beat them. Explain to them. And you tell them, you know what, is mommy loves you. Not that I don't love you, but yes, I have to do this. So everything is a balance, Benjamin. You cannot just be strict, and you cannot just be soft either. Because if you're soft, they will just walk all over you. They'll know, oh, my mom, you tell her this, she's always saying yes. My mom, you're always saying yes. And then if you're also very, very strict, then your children will never ask you for anything. So it has to be a balance where your child knows that I can just tell my mom, can we go somewhere now? And mom can actually say, yeah, we'll go. Not that strict. I cannot ask my mom anything. I cannot tell my mom anything. And also the one that just walk over my mom. Mom, I want this. You get, mom, I want this. So there has to be balance in everything. And the other thing I wanted to talk about rules and the other thing I want to say about rules and regulations, yes, they can be changed. They can be changed according to age, according to situation, and according to circumstance. Because the rules that you've put for a child who is under 10 is not going to be the same rules that you put from 11 to probably 15. So for example,
the curfew rule that you should be at home by. I know you say to your children,
exactly,
they must be at home at 10.
Yes. So
10 p.m.
if a child
they must be at home.
Yes. So if they're now older, they can be at home. Like, for example, if my daughter is 24, she can go out and come back tomorrow the next day, because she's older, and I know that, okay, now she's mature, she knows what she's more mature, she can handle herself. But my 16-year-old, there's no way I'll allow her to even go out. There's no way I'll allow her to go to a club. There's no way I'll allow her to drink alcohol. There's no way I'll allow her to do a lot of stuff. But even now, you see, now rules are changing, because even now, my 19-year-old, my 18-year-old now, she's 19. She was 19 in May. So even her, there are some things that my 24-year-old will do that I will not allow her to do. So now I have 3 sets of rules for both the 24, the 19, the 16.
So this 16 year, let's focus on the 16 one, because now, but you have experienced almost all of them, the 24, the 19 and the 16. This thing about rules and regulations, you said you started earlier, and any parent can start. It doesn't matter whether if you're listening to us, setting these rules are very important. The rules, did you always explain to them? Because a parent can set the rule or can take away the internet. Or can tell the child, do not go out. I want you at home by 7 p.m. But this child does not understand why. Why am I supposed to be at 7 p.m.? So Can you please describe the situation of explaining these rules and why it's
you have to.
important? Why is it important for your teenager to know about these rules? And how did you do it as Lydia?
It's important to explain to them, especially when it's like going out, because they always think, why is you tell them it's because I've told my children, it's not because I don't trust them. It's the people out there that I don't trust. Them I trust. They'll be good children when they're outside. They know how to behave. They know how to look after themselves. But it's the person, the next person. Do they really know how to behave? Do they really know how to? It's like the same time when you're driving. You trust yourself. Only you trust yourself on the steering wheel. You don't know the other person. You don't know what they're going through, if they're drunk. You don't know what they're capable of doing at this particular time when you're driving. If they cut you in, if you cut them, you don't know them. So it's the same thing I tell my children. I don't know the other person. It's only you I know. So because I don't trust the other person, you have to come home early. Because if you come home at 7 o'clock or you come home at 8 and then they do something to you, so you have to come home early. And the other thing also, I phone my children a lot. I'll phone if the time gets to this time, I'll phone and I'll be like, where are you? What time are you coming back? What, so it's because I've done that. Even if I don't do that, especially with my second daughter, she'll be like, why is mommy not phoning me? She'll come back and say, Mom, you've never even called me to ask me where I was, because she's so used to that. I'll call her and find out, where are you? What are you doing? How far are you? And then they know that I don't go to sleep until they come back home. I'll wait for them. Even if my daughter is working and she's finishing at 2 a.m., I'll wait for her until she comes home. Then when she comes home, I'll be like, okay, now you're home. I'll go to bed. So they need to know that somebody's there waiting for me.
And this creates the sense of safety. I believe when you are telling them and reminding them, these rules is not to punish you. I'm not punishing you. I'm not limiting your freedom. I just want you to understand that I love you and I want your safety. If you are safe and you are not in trouble out there, then that means mommy will be happy and daddy will be happy. All of us will be safe. But if you're out there and something happens wrong to you, I will be the first person to be responsible. What was I doing when my child was out there? But Njoki is asking this question here. Lydia, what would you like to say about this question?
Instead, it depends with how old the child is. Of course, if a child is under 15 years old, 10 o'clock will be too late for them to come back. But if your child is 19 or your child is 24, those are no children anymore.
Yep.
But you still tell them you cannot.
Yeah, it depends with the age, and
it
also I
depends.
think the environment.
It depends with it depends with the age. Of course, it depends with the environment as well. Just imagine, for instance, this is just for instance, you have a child and you're in an estate where it's very, very dangerous. The estate is very dangerous. You can't walk in at night, because we know there are some estates that are very, very dangerous. Even in the UK, it doesn't matter. Even in the UK, we have places that are dangerous and you cannot walk at night by yourself. Those places, there's crime. There's a lot of crime. There's a lot of rape. There's a lot of this. You won't let your child walk home late if you're living in those estates. So it depends with where you're living. It also depends with the age of the child. And just let me tell people, I know people always, this one is just by the way, to if you're calling children, I always don't like using the word kid, because kid is a child of a goat. So I'd call my children children. I like calling them children, just for name calling, because names are very important as well. When you call your child, some people start their child Hussein or Museveni, you should know what the meaning of what you're calling your child. So I don't like using the name kid. I always say children, because kid is a child of a goat. I don't call my children kids. I call them children.
The same question which Njoki was asking, how old are your children? I think you already said. You have a 24-year-old girl, a 19-year-old girl, and a 16-year-old girl. So Lydia is blessed with 3 daughters, and all of them, they are over 16. So she has been raising them, all the experience of a parent. You are listening to somebody who has gone through the experience of raising girls in this generation. All right. So Lydia,
and in the UK, where raising children are very. One woman was asking me. She lives in Kenya. She came to visit and she was asking me, "Are you not scared? Is it not scary for you to raise children. I say, my children are old already. If they were young, maybe I'll be like, oh my God. But my children turned out to be so good. They've turned out good children. I love the way my children have turned out to be. Even though, yes, we fight sometimes, we argue. Sometimes I don't talk to them because I'm upset or, but they've turned out okay.
Okay. Beautiful.
So to raise children in a white man land is not easy.
I believe everywhere it's not easy, but it's much more difficult when you're in a foreign country. And,
it's difficult because Benjamin, you know the rules and regulations of social services. So in a foreign land, first of all, you're by yourself because we don't have relatives. It's not a community based. Foreign land is not a community based where you can say, oh, mama nani, I've left my child there, look after them. It's not like that. It's just you and your child. So that is the first challenge, which is very, very difficult. Second challenge, you're in a foreign land where it means you need to work and save money, either do whatever you're doing back home or everybody in the village is looking up to you. What are you doing? So that's another challenge. And the third challenge as well, there are things you cannot just tell your child, or there's no way you can just beat your child or hit your child. They'll go and tell you to school, you're in trouble. But in Kenya, all these things in Kenya, they're there. So it's really challenging to raise up a child in a foreign land.
Yeah. I like this comment here by Thandiwe. Dikwayo says, I love this as a young, I don't feel out at all. I'm actually on track and I'm feeling so encouraged. I think maybe she's going to become a parent.
Hey.
So this discussion is making her to feel really, really encouraged. Thank you so much, Sithandiwe. We appreciate you watching this show right now. So Lydia, I want us to move on to, when these boundaries are not there, what happens is the teenager will start showing certain behaviors. I normally see that in school. And when they show these bad behaviors, some parents will think and say, hiyo ni adole na msumbua, Some parents will say, that my child is behaving like this, but I think that is adolescence. He will grow. Or if your daughter starts behaving this way, I want you to pay attention as a parent. When you begin noticing these behaviors, don't just sit there and say, this is adolescence disturbing my child. That he or she is going to grow from there. There are children who might not grow from there. They will continue with these behaviors, and then it will be too late. And that's why we are doing this show. And some of those bad behaviors, which I noticed when I was still working as a teacher, is having this physical aggression. Like boys, they want to fight, They want to fight a lot. For the girls, there's the attitude, the disrespectful attitude, or shutting down and keeping quiet, or mood shifts. Today she's happy, tomorrow she's not, or bursts of anger, And all these things they are trying to tell you something that they are going through. But as a parent, you are confused whether it's normal, or my rules are not working, or my rules are too strict. So there's that confusion. According to you, when you are raising, especially let's begin with the first daughter who is 24. When she became a teenager, did she show you some of those negative things which I just mentioned? Mood swings, negative attitude.
The thing is, I think there's so much excuse that we use. And it happens as well in domestic violence. Sorry to mention that. We have a lot of excuse that, if he's drunk, he doesn't behave like that. Or if she's this, she doesn't behave like that. She only does that when she's drunk, or she does that. We excuse bad behaviors. We find every reason to excuse it so we don't deal with it. We excuse bad behaviors because we don't want to deal with it. So we are, it's a dole, because we don't want to deal with it. So you're making it like it's a normal thing. It's a dole, so I don't deal with this issue because it's an issue that every child passes through. But that's a lie from the pit of hell. Not every child passes through adolescent stage. And don't excuse that behavior. Tackle it immediately you see it, because sometimes maybe something has happened to that child. It's not just a delay, something has happened to that child. Maybe that child has seen something that is so disturbing that they don't know how to deal with it. Either they've seen you do it, but because you're a mom or a dad, they don't know how to ask you. I know one child who saw the parent was using this toys, sex toys, and the
Sex
child
toys,
saw
yes.
it, and the child was so disturbed, and they didn't know how to ask their mom. And because this child was a teenager and she was embarrassed for her mom, she was so embarrassed. She was like, oh, so my mom is using such a thing. So she was just angry, forever angry, because the trust she had towards her mom, because she looks at her mom thinking her mom is an angel, her mom can never do this. So when she saw that, it disturbed her so much that the respect she had for her mom, she started losing it. So her mom will excuse that behavior, thinking, oh, she's a teenager, so now that is her. It's not. That's excusing a behavior that she saw you do something, or she saw somebody do something, or something bad really happened to this child. And they don't know how to express it. So through expressing it is that bad behavior. So you excusing it and not wanting to deal with it, it makes it worse. It makes it worse. And some children, like you rightfully said, Benjamin, they will never get out of it. Because if it's something that they saw or something happened to them, how will they get out of it? They won't.
Yep. Even neglecting, neglecting doing the chores, neglecting the chores, cleaning their bathroom, cleaning their room. These are basic things that a kid should learn to do it. But if, as you're saying, if a parent excuses and say, he's a boy, boys can be dirty, so we are talking about excusing these bad behaviors by saying that this is just a teenager.
I have my daughter here saying hello.
Oh,
that's
hello.
My 19-year-old.
How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. How are you?
I'm good. Happy belated birthday.
Thank you.
Did you have a good day?
Yeah, it was really good. Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah, it was really good.
Mommy is saying that one time I'll bring you to this show and you talk. Are you ready to do that?
Maybe in a couple of weeks.
Okay. I want you to be prepared, and then we will do a show together.
Okay.
All right. I wish you a nice evening, and thank you for dropping by.
Thank you. You too.
Thank you.
Bye.
Okay. All right. He's off somewhere.
Yes.
Okay.
So back to the discussion of now this idea of giving excuses of bad behaviors. How about neglecting their chores? Because I know there are so many parents struggling with their children doing certain things in the house with the excuse that, oh, my child is very busy with school.
Yes.
When I was staying in Japan, I used to teach these teenagers, and I used to ask them if they were helping at home, doing the chores. For me, I started cooking at the age of 10. I was the firstborn, so my mother had to push me to do all these chores. And by the age of 15, I already knew so many things, even though I was a boy. But this generation now, the parent is working so hard, at the same time doing certain chores for her daughters or her sons. What was your experience? How did you make them to do these chores?
Okay. Because I'll even just say where my daughter is going right now. Where she's going, her friend, who is only 18, lost her mother. And the mother died in her arms. The 18-year-old friend, her mother died in her arms. And what my daughter did, I was really shocked. She behaved like an African woman because she sees what her mom does. She told me to drive her to the shopping center. She did shopping with her own money. She bought bread, milk. I was thinking, why are you buying all those things? And she took it to the girl's house. The girl is only 18. And she took it to her friend's house. And I was so proud of her because I said, wow, she's only 19. My daughter is only 19 and she's doing something that she sees her mom doing. It's because she's seen me do it when my friends are in trouble or anything happens to my friend or somebody, I've lost somebody and I'm going to visit them. I take shopping because that's what we do as Kenyans. So if you're coming to a white man land, especially people are raising their children in a foreign land, you have to balance these things. They think that my child is going to school, my child is this, my child is that. When we're in Kenya, don't we work? Don't we go to school? Don't we still go to university even though we work in the houses? We still do that. So excusing your child that, oh, my child is tired, my child is going to school. Since my children were younger, every Saturday, everybody have their job. My firstborn has a job until today, Benjamin. Every Saturday, everybody has their job. And if they don't do it, I'm like, guys, you've not done your jobs. Why? Oh, mommy, I'll do it tomorrow. No, you're doing it now. Oh, mama, no, now. Because sometimes they don't do it. If I forget to, sometimes if I enter the house and on a Saturday and I'm still and I'm like, guys, you've not done your jobs. So everybody has their job since they were little. Every Saturday, everybody has a job. So don't sit there and excuse this for your children and say, oh, my children are going to school. Everybody goes to school. You have to make those children know that they have to clean, they have to cook. Right now, Benjamin, I don't cook in my house. I'm so blessed. That girl that you just saw, my 19-year-old, because she bakes cakes, that's her passion. That's her career. That's what she does. She cooks. She's the one who cooks in the house. She cooks on Monday, on Tuesday, on Wednesday. She cooks every day. If I did not teach her, there's no way she'll be doing it.
And sorry to cut you short. And then when this lady's African, let me use the African card. When this girl cannot cook, and also the boy who is going to take her if she's going to get married, if the boy also cannot cook, so we have two adults who cannot do anything. They cannot do anything.
It's takeaways. Every day is takeaway in this house, so they cannot even save any money to have a mortgage. Because
the boy will be complaining and saying, what kind of girlfriend is this? What woman did I marry? She can't cook. And even him too cannot cook. So those are the kids, those are the teenagers that are being raised. By the time they get into a level of adulthood, they are still teenagers, they are still babies. They don't know how to do anything. Even cleaning, just cleaning. Yeah.
No.
So every Saturday, is it okay to just give specifically the first daughter? Were you changing, or it was every Saturday they were doing the same things? Like, for example, on Saturday, what were they doing, the three of them?
So what they did, like every time they came back from school after dinner, right? One person will wipe the table, even though probably there's nothing on the table, but just want to make them know that there's job. And that is every day after school, Benjamin. So after we've eaten dinner on the table, one person will wipe the table, another one will sweep the floor. Because when you're eating, maybe ugali fell down or a cramp or a rice, they'll sweep the floor. Even if there's nothing, I'll be like, no, sweep that floor. There's something. And then the other one will wash, my firstborn will wash the plates that we ate with. Because every time I cooked, I'll wash everything. So when we finish eating dinner, it's only 4 or 5 or 6 plates, not a lot. So she'll wash the plates after dinner. One will atapanguza meza, another one will sweep the floor. So that is how, even though the floor was clean, the table, no, you have to do it. That is every day, Monday to Friday. And then Saturday, one will change the bins, because in my house, I have bins in every room. So one will change all the bins, another one will wash the bathroom, and another one will hoover the house. And then my firstborn, because she's older, she'll also wash the fridge. Even if the fridge is not dirty, you will wash it. So just to get used to, this is what we do. When I wash clothes, that is every Saturday. That is the every Saturday duty. They know they have to do that. If I wash clothes and I iron them, it's their duty to everybody come and take your clothes. I don't take their clothes in the cupboard. If I iron, I leave them in the washer. Everybody will come and take their clothes and go and put it in their cupboard. So everybody spread their own bed. I'm not spreading your bed for you. You have to spread your bed, and you're not going to school with your bed not spread. Because I always teach them that the first it's a mental thing. Once you spread your bed, then you're ready for the day. If you leave your bed like this, you come back and look and I enter in the no. You have to spread your bed immediately you wake up. I'm not going to spread your bed for you. And then again, I have after every 2 weeks, because it's only them sleeping in their sheets, you spread your clean sheets, you spread your clean duvet, you take your dirty sheets out, put your clean sheets every time. They know that. So I don't do those things for them. You clean your own room. Why would I come and clean your room for you? I don't live in there.
You see, like what Kutesa Yunia is saying, that we have YouTube nowadays where you can learn how to cook. Do you think a teenager, and after growing to become a 24-year-old, will have even the motivation to watch YouTube and start cooking?
No, they only have motivation. They'll have motivation to do makeup, things that don't, but to cook, they won't. not at the age of 24 when they know I can go and buy takeaway. You understand? There's a when they're older, when they're 20, 24, 25, why would I start learning how to if it's something that I didn't know how to do or I didn't like doing it? Because a lot of children don't even like how to cook anyway. But there are things that we don't like doing, but we have to be forced into doing them. We have to be encouraged into doing them.
Wow. Forced and encouraged. I like those two words there. Angel Ruth Kwambi says, I admire the way you have brought up your girls, Lydia. Good lessons here. Thank you so much, Angel.
It wasn't easy though.
It wasn't easy. It doesn't look
wasn't
like easy.
Oh my God. Because don't forget, I'm a single parent. Parent. And then I have 3 girls. And then one would think, and then the other thing, Benjamin, that I do a lot now that they're all out, so they will not hear me saying this, and don't ever tell them this, is every single one of them, if you have children, and this is something that parents make mistakes as well, they make one child think that they are the favorite. They make one child know, even the other ones can see. What I do with my girls is once a week, I write them a text, and I tell every single one of them that they're my favorite. And I say, don't let the other ones know, because if they know, they won't be happy that you're my favorite, but you are my favorite. So every single one of them thinks in their head that they are my favorite. When I kiss them and I hug them, I say, you're my favorite, baby. I don't know what I can do without you. You know, that is why. And then you look for all those little favors that you've done for them, and you say, you see, that's why I did this for you, because you're my favorite. Oh, that's so all the 2 of them always think that. So the day they'll find out, I think they'll be like, Mom tricked us. They'll hate me for that. So you have to make every child know or think they're your favorite. But this thing that parents openly show it and say, oh, you know, it is wrong, because the thing is, they're not going to resent you as a parent. They're going to resent each other. They're going to resent that person that you say is your favorite. And then your children they're not going to have that love among them. You understand? They are going to start hating and resenting each other.
Yeah, that we have talked about the home chores. There's something also to do with family events. You know, family events are very important in creating these boundaries, like the Christmas, or there are so many family events. But I don't know if you have experienced with your children and you as a viewer that we live with teenagers who are stuck in their own world. So long as they have internet, Wi-Fi is number one. Very strong Wi-Fi is actually the best ever, even for people who are not old. You give any man or any woman free, fast Wi-Fi and food, end of the story. I don't need anything, just give me delicious food and very fast internet, and I can lock myself in this room for 1 year without going anywhere. So we have these teenagers who are not interacting with people. Even at school, they are forced to just talk to each other, but they can't wait to go home and be on their phone and just enjoy with phone. So and it's getting worse and worse. Even for us adults, we are limiting our time to talk with people. You talk with someone, but they are on the phone, they are on the computer all the time. You're just talking with him or her. The phone has become a big curse for so many people. So in your experience, Lydia, the family events, how have you managed to do the family events with your daughters? And what were you doing? Like in the whole year, do you have specific traditions that you do with them?
We don't really have traditions, but in saying that, you know, some children are introverts. If your child is an introvert person, encourage conversations, especially if they're in a safe place, because introverts normally want to communicate when they feel they're in the safe place. So in a home, that's why I say, when you have your house, do not bring men or women in your house. That house should be a safe haven for the children. If you want to do whatever rubbish you want to do it out there, but let them feel that this space is safe. So if your child are those introverts children, when they're in the home, that's why I don't call my house a house, because my house is a home for my children, because a home is somewhere that is welcoming and somewhere that is warm. That is a home. So if they're within that setting of the home, if they're introverts, then you should encourage them to open up so you can talk to them. But of course, when they're outside, because they're introverts children, that's just the way they are. They don't want to talk to anybody. But when they're at home, you should discourage phones, especially if they're introverts. You should discourage phones because they can stay on their phone forever. But children who are extroverts are different. They can leave their phone, and all my children are extroverts, just like me. They don't care. Especially my firstborn, her phone can be I don't know where, and she can just stay without her phone. She doesn't really care. It's my lastborn that is so into her phones. But now what I do is when we have an occasion and we have it, I tell them no phones, guys. You need to have a discussion with people. People need to see that you guys are talking. So things like when we have Christmas, everybody cooks. So when we are all in the kitchen. So what I do is I let when we have like an event, everybody cooks. Even my lastborn knows how to cook dengu than anybody in the house. So
it's a very good idea.
Yeah, she'll cut onions, she'll do dengus, she'll do ugali. She's the only one who knows how to do ugali because her arms are really strong, like Amuluya hands. The others don't really know how to do ugali, but one knows how to do chapati. So I'm like, I do my firstborn, me and my firstborn will do chapati together. So I'll say I'll do half and then you do the half. So we are in that kitchen, everybody's doing their bit. So we are together. And then when we finish, of course, when we're eating, oh, this one is not good. This person's bit wasn't nice. How is this person's food? Can you taste my food? How does it taste? So we have those conversations where the phone is away. We don't even know where it is. So we are having this conversation, 4 girls. And because my world is so a little bit simple because we are 4 girls. So we share a lot of things together. But when you have boys as well, and you're a single mother especially, it's kind of a little bit difficult. But that's when we spoke. Remember when we did the show and we said you need to find an uncle or a brother that you can trust 100% because that boy needs a man figure in their life.
Wow. How about birthdays? Like, birthdays are also big deals these days. Children celebrating them. Yeah. How do you normally do the birthdays for your daughters?
Birthday are very special, but because now they're older, they like to do it by themselves. Or my friends coming, my friends this and that. But as much as they do it themselves, I also just have, guys, let's go out as a family and have a meal. Because now it's not like before when it was birthday and you bring, but with my firstborn, it's so different. Maybe because she's the firstborn, I do a lot of surprises for her. We do a lot of surprise for her. We call her friends. I buy food. I order food. I do this. I do a lot of surprises for her rather than the little ones, which is not fair, to be honest. But even though they do, like my second born is a little bit of an introvert. When the one you just saw now, if she's doing if she has a birthday and she's going with her friends, they go to apartments nowadays, they call it. They'll go to apartments and stay there for the whole weekend. They stay on Saturday, on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and she'll come back on Sunday evening. But I need to know where the apartment is. I need to know which people are coming to the apartment, how many boys are there, how many girls are there, what will you guys be doing? Are you going to be playing? They might tell you the truth, they might lie to you, but at least you know that my child is in that place. If anything happens, I know where my child is. Because, children will never tell you everything 100%. They will never tell you 100%. As much as you're close, they'll probably just tell you 70%. 30%,
they keep it themselves.
Is theirs to keep.
Yeah. Wow. Thank you. We have some nice feedback here, Lydia. Sarah Mvalo says, thanks for raising the subject of house chores. I'm proud to say my 16-year-old son does everything in the house, from cleaning the house, cooking, and laundry. He does all that. Amazing. Sarah has really tried to get a boy to do all those things. She has really.
For a boy.
So.
Well done, Sarah.
Salute to you, wherever you are, and may God continue making your son not to misbehave as he gets older. Keep doing that. Don't stop. Encourage him, motivate him, thank him for behaving that way. It's not easy for so many parents, especially with the boys. Boys will always be boys. Even an adult cannot clean himself. What about a young boy? Shah Jasmine says, I am so proud of my son. Even if I'm away, my mom has taught him the way she taught us when we were young. When I go to my country to visit, I never cook. My son always cooks. I am so blessed, and I really thank God for this show because it has taught me a lot as a single mom of 2. Beautiful there,
Yes.
Jasmine. Thank you for sharing your experience there, and bless your mom, and thank you, and thank to your mom for stepping up to take care of your children when you're far away. I hope you'll be lucky enough to reunite and be together with them as soon as possible. So Lydia, we are winding up. The viewers who are watching us, those who are just joining, remember we have been talking about boundaries. And in case you're just joining us, you have really missed a lot, honestly speaking, if you're a parent. But there's always chance of watching a repeat of this show here on Facebook or on my YouTube channel, Benjamin Junior Bogonko, and even on Lydia's page, Lydia's Facebook account. You can watch a repeat during any time when you're free. You don't have to sit down for 1 hour. These days, people are too lazy to watch a video for 1 hour.
Yes.
But what I normally do is, if the video is too good and it's too long, I can watch bits by bits. You don't have to sit for 1 hour to listen to everything. You can just speak about 10 minutes, you listen, wow. If it's more interesting, you can continue listening. Or my other style is you play the video as you're doing other things which you like. You can cook as the video is going on. You know, you're just cooking, you're preparing your dinner, and Benjamin and Lydia having this discussion. And that saves you time instead of feeling like, wow, this video is too long. I wish they had made it 10 minutes. And the people spend a lot of time following stuff online or doing things online that do not really help them. And especially this thing of raising children. If they could spend time, this 1 hour, to listen and to follow this kind of discussion, then maybe their daughters and their sons could be in a safer place. So please, I encourage you to always watch these shows, and also you can watch a repeat. So Lydia, as we wind up, I know we have talked so much.
Yeah, there's something that someone just said. Win Key. I don't know if you can put that up.
Which one?
Her name is WIN Win, and then NKI.
NKI. Teach them.
No, not that one.
Not
she
this
said
one.
Teens motto. Yeah, she's the same person.
Yes.
I think. Yeah, she said teens motto is to do as I do, not to do as I say. Parents, men and women need to be example. Yeah, I think we've spoken about this topic before, and this is very, very important, because nowadays children don't do what you say, is they do what you do. So what she's just said, example, is if a man is just sitting down doing nothing and the mother is chilling, drinking and partying, then what? Exactly. The children will just follow your footsteps. And that's why, remember, Benjamin, I even said that especially if you have girls, yes, boys are also important to a gender to protect. But especially if you have girls and you're bringing men in the house, different men, those men can rape your child, those men can molest your child, those men, and they can even do that to boys, but most likely to girls. And then your girls will do the same thing you're doing. Your girl will be 15 and she'll be hanging around with men, and because mom does that. So it's okay, because mom brings Tom, tomorrow Tom, Dick, and Harry. So they do what you do. If you're drinking alcohol, and I'm not saying drinking alcohol is bad or smoking is bad, but know where to do it. If you want to smoke outside, but your children will do exactly what you're doing. Most of the time, not all the time. There are some children who know this is bad. I'm not going to do what mom or dad is doing because this is bad. But there are some children who cannot identify and separate that. They cannot separate the behavior from their parent. What their parent is doing, that's the behavior that they will tend to copy. But we have some who knows how to separate. So don't put your children in that state of mind, in that space where they don't know what to do.
Wow.
And they make bad choices because of you, the choices you made.
They do what you do. They don't do what you say.
Exactly.
Yes, beautiful. And the teachers, we are very lucky, because for us as a teacher, is they will do what we say, but because teachers cannot misbehave. I cannot drink alcohol at school. So they say, wow, Benjamin is my teacher, and that's how they follow the rules. But now when they come home and then you're doing wrong things, don't expect your child to understand that you are an adult and that is wrong. They will do what you're doing. And I want us to I got this information here, Lydia. Healthy boundaries, characteristics. Now we're winding up as a summary. How will a parent know that this is a healthy boundary? Finally, I have created a boundary between me and my son, me and my daughter. one of the characteristics there you see on the list is present and clear. Those boundaries should be very present and very clear. You have talked about curfew is 10 p.m. because of ABCD, you know. There's another one there, appropriate versus controlling or manipulative. You talked about the age. The boundaries you gave your daughter when she was 10 are not the same as when she's 19.
No.
Yeah, they have to keep on changing. Then the firm but flexible. Firm but flexible, this is where I want you to say something about it. You want to be very firm, but you want to be flexible a bit with internet. What would you say about this characteristic?
The firm and flexibility is about balance. You have to be firm, but you also have to be flexible. That is the meaning of that is just balance. Yeah, but you have to be firm in what you're telling your child, but you have to also be flexible of, okay, let's say the child example of coming back at 10 o'clock. Okay, so you're firm with that. It has to be 10. And there's no, if you don't come back at 10, this is what happens. There's consequences that you have to face if you don't come back at 10. Now, being flexible with that is, let's say there was a train delay, there was an accident, something happened that was beyond this child's control. And they came back at 10 past, quarter past, or 10:30, or quarter to 11, or even 11. You have to be flexible, but because now you're thinking, okay, why did you come back at 10? Because of ABCD. Did they call you? Now, being flexible is, and being firm still, you're still firm that you could have come back at 10. Or, mommy, I couldn't come back at 10 because there was an accident. Did you call me prior to that? Because now you know that I cannot make it at 10. So you need to call me and let me know prior. Don't come home at 11 and start explaining to me what happened. So you understand, you're still firm. You're still firm with this decision, but you're being flexible. If they call you and they tell you, I cannot come at 10 because of ABCD, you're flexible. That means you're not going to punish them. The consequences that was there, if they don't make it at 10, they're not going to face that consequence. So you're flexible.
Flexible too. And let's see another one here. Another characteristics is not rigid, protective, not hurtful or harmful, receptive, not invasive or domineering, not set by anyone else but yourself. So these boundaries, as you have said over and over, the way you have been raising your daughters is not going to be the same as another parent watching and listening to us. Yes,
exactly.
Everyone has their own style. What worked for Lydia might not work for another parent. You have seen over and over the last shows which we did, the last 10. There are parents who say, for me, my children, I'm raising them in America.
Yes.
You are raising them in the UK. Another one is watching us and they are raising their children in Africa. So what may work for you as a parent may not work for another parent. At the end of the day, but there are, what do you normally call them? There are guidelines. There are guidelines.
Because there's no rule book. There's not a rule book set. So there's no a rule book that if you don't follow this will happen. No, there's no a rule book, but there are guidelines to follow. They're just guidelines that we give. And the same guideline, if you take it, it will work for you in Africa, it will work for you in America, it will work for you in Europe. Yeah.
Not domineering. I want you to finish with this not domineering, because look at the last sentence there of this characteristic.
Yeah, domineering is being, domineering and invasive is being in their space. So let's say you say, example, don't close your door, because like me, I just enter my daughter's room. There's no locks. You're not locking your room, okay? But now you enter and you start searching. Them. What are they hiding? You're being invasive and you're dominating their space. But the fact that they know that door is never locked. So I can't hide anything in here, because when my mom comes in, she might see it. The fact that they know the door is locked, they know they cannot hide anything. But for you to be coming and checking, and it's like you're looking for something. It's like you're looking for something bad to start fight. It's like when women go on there.
How about going to the phone and trying to check what they are doing in their phone?
Yeah, but because you've set those rules already, it's like my children now. I always told them, send me your passwords. Okay, send me your passwords, because they know my password as well. So I'm not doing something that I don't do for them. They know my password. My children take my phone, they know my password. They go to the bank, they know, they have my bank cards. So if sometimes I just say, oh, let me see your phone, honey, and I just enter their phone, so they know that mom can just say out of the blue, let me see your phone. Sometimes I don't even do it for like 2, 3, 4 months. Then all of a sudden I'm like, let me see your phone.
So if a child has a password and the parent does not know, do you think that could be something wrong? You don't know the password of your child's phone.
It might not be wrong, but it might be. It might not be wrong. It might be wrong. For me, I prefer if I know it. You know, because you don't know what they have. You don't even know what they're looking at on their phones. So I think it depends with the age. But the minute maybe they're 18, then I know that they're mature enough.
Under 18, because when they're much better 18, 19, to know everything on their phone.
Yeah, when they're under 18, they're under your care, Benjamin. Even some movies, even when my daughter is watching a movie, my 16-year-old, I always go and say, what are you watching? She'll say, oh, it's this and this. What age is that? Whatever you're watching. She say, mommy, it's 12. Is that 12? Or mommy, is a 15. Okay. I need to see. Okay. But some parents will be watching adult or over 18 with a child who is 12 or 14. So I need to know so that is just me. But if you start early, like I said, if you start these things early and your child knows that my mom knows my password, but you can know a child is 16 or 17 and say, okay, today I need to look at your phone. I need your password.
Lydia and Benjamin said, I need to find it now. You're going to be invasive and you're going to have a very... And I want to ask the viewers a question for the day. Is it okay for you to know the passwords of your son or your daughter if they are under 18? Type there, yes, it's okay, or it's not okay. Any father, any mother who is listening to us, question for the day, is it okay for you to know their passwords, their phone passwords, so long as they are under 18, or that is too much? Let them, like the other parent who was saying, come on, watch porno, watch ajifunze.
That parent, oh my God. That parent, that's child abuse. Actually, that's child abuse. That's no, you cannot. How are you protecting your child by allowing your child to do that? God has
blessed you with a child to be responsible. That's why you became a father or a mother. Blessed you and but has given you responsibility to take care of this kid until they are old enough like you to make better decisions.
Yes.
Onisa Samson says, yes, it's okay to know the password. Aneti Sabwe says, yes. Kotesa Yunia says, yes. Mona Waruguru, yes, it's very okay. Jacinta Mbula, yes. Gladys Kihagi, very much okay. Mo Raha, yes. Kemunto Lili, absolutely fine to know their password. In fact, I should know the password. There is no question about that. And Shah Jasmine says, yes, with capital letters there. Yes, I need to know.
Yeah.
But the parents who have given these kids, it's a boundary. I don't want to invade their privacy, you know?
There is nothing like that. Benjamin, invade under 18. Under 18, you're supposed to look after these children. Know what they're doing, know what they're watching, know who they're with. But after that, wakifika ma 19, then I don't want to look at their phone, I love you messages there. It's fine. But under 18, no, you have to protect them.
You're still a parent and they're still your child.
Because even when they're 19 now, or when they're 18, the things that you installed in them when they were younger, they still have them. It's still there. So you have to trust your work. You have to trust your handiwork.
Yes. I think we have tackled everything. So far, so good, according to this topic here, boundaries. And Lydia, unless you have any other thing to add on, let's give our final words.
Yeah, I'll just say thank you so much, everybody, for coming. Like I said, nobody's perfect here. Our children are not perfect, or my children are not perfect, and I'm not perfect. There are times that we go lock ahead. We the only thing I say is don't answer me back. I really don't appreciate parents who argue with their children. I talk, you listen. When I finish talking, then you can say your point. But when I'm saying like husband and wife, when the husband and wife are arguing, you're not supposed to have that with your children. You're supposed to talk and they listen. When you finish, then they talk their point, and that's the only time you can solve issues amicably. But otherwise, you cannot solve anything. And guys, if you have a child who is under 18, it's your responsibility to look after that child. If they don't like it, they will not like it, but you have to do it. It's the same thing. There's a lot of things we don't like to do, but we are either being forced to do it or we are being encouraged to do them, but we have to do them regardless. So, and just to let you know, I'm not a counselor again, like I said, or a psychiatrist, but I'm just a parent who is in parenting, who is in youths, and I would like to see our generation tomorrow a better generation than what we have right now. Right now, what we have is chaos.
Wow. Thank you. Thank you. So there's somebody saying, yeah, umeona hiyo.
25, that's too much.
Osumu, this
No,
is,
that's too much.
25 and below. Oh man, I don't
Nah,
think,
that's
so long
too
as they
much.
are in your house. It's,
Nah, you need to trust. That's the thing. You see, Osumo, you need to trust what you've done when that child was under 18. You need to trust your handwork. You need to trust what you instilled in that child. You need to trust your child. When they're over 18, you cannot be invading. You cannot be looking, let me see your password. You can't do that, because then they will look at you and think, you don't even trust me.
when will you ever trust me? So long as I'm in your house,
Exactly.
you can never trust me. So let me walk away. Let me leave you.
25. No, 25 is too much.
That's according to you, because your daughter is 24, and you allowed her to just live her life because you trust her and the way you raised her.
And also the thing as well is, if you keep on telling a child that as long as you're under my roof, then they'll go. They'll go. They'll go before. Yeah, they'll go before they're ready. So you can't use those lines, because that is not your roof. That's their house. Don't forget, that's their house. It's not your roof. It's their house, because you are supposed to provide shelter for your children.
That's why
So you can't use those lines.
That's why you
gave birth to them.
You shouldn't have had children.
You can't use those rules and say, because you're under my roof. You are supposed to provide a roof over their head anyway. So you can't use those lines. And because Benjamin, what I told my children that they are not ever going to move out from my house to go and rent a house. They're not. If you want to rent a house, rent this room that you're living in and pay your mommy. You leave this house and go to your mortgage house. So me telling them all the time, because you're under my roof, and they're not ready to get a mortgage, that means they'll just go anyway. So every hard work you did, and to tell them that, and to empower them that I don't want you to go and rent, I want you to go and have your own house. You're empowering your children, and then you're destroying everything by now bringing rules and saying, no, you're under my roof, you have to do this. That's wrong.
Wow. And in Japan, you mentioned something when I was staying in Japan. The children who stay with their parents, they agree. You have to pay certain things. After the age of 18, when they begin working, then they pay a little, not a lot. They're renting that room, so they contribute. You cannot just sit there and you are enjoying free services. But politely is creating that sense of responsibility that, wow, okay, this is actually much cheaper to stay here together with my parents. I know they will not have all the freedom, but it's also cheaper. Sometimes it's cheaper to just stay with a big house together with the parents as they prepare themselves to move out and have their own homes or their own houses. Win is asking, which country are you in? You said you are in the UK. Lydia Tett is staying in the United Kingdom, and that's where she stays, and we would like to finish there now. Thank you so much. Samson says, I use that line with my son, so long as you're under my roof.
Because he said that he's in Kenya, and he said in Kenya children will not move out.
Yes.
They might move out. Don't underestimate your children. They might move out, because there's a way that we talk to our children. As much as you still have to respect your children and know how to talk to them. You cannot just talk to them anyhow because they're living under your roof, or you're the one buying food. You can't. You still, the students still need to feel that my parents really respect me.
Yeah. So I like the Japanese style. If you're over the age of 25 and you have not moved out, then automatically, according to their culture, you contribute something. You can decide, I'm going to pay for the internet, pay half of the mortgage, because you are adult now. You're working, you're
Yes.
making money.
Yes.
Where are you taking your
Yes.
money? You could as
Yes.
well go and stay alone. So that responsibility is very, very nice when the children are still staying with their parents in the same roof.
Yes.
All right. So Lydia, I want to let you go now, and me too. And thank
Thank
you so
you.
much. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank
you for sharing your experiences, and even allowing your daughter to come and say hello to us today briefly. Prepare her psychologically.
Thank
and,
you.
and tell her Benjamin's questions are not very tough. I've been a teacher before, so
Yes.
I will also prepare on what to ask after I understand her personality and her way of talking. Then
Yes.
it should flow. We will flow with her, and you can also be there seated. Actually, I was thinking, you and her, we can have 3 screens. You can be in a different room, and then the 3 of us, we are on the screen. And so I'm asking you, people are asking her, and I mean something like that. That discussion.
Yes.
Where
Yes.
she will feel, oh, mommy is here, and with the time maybe she can be alone. Where when I ask her, she will be like, nijibu hiyo ama nisijibu? No, I don't want that.
Leo nitapigwa makofi ama sitapigwa makofi? No,
So
it's a joke.
we will plan for that as Mondays go by. Remember, again, as a viewer, this show is every Monday around this time, wherever you are. If you're watching for the first time, please like and follow this page. You can check out Lydia's name there on the screen. Lydia, you say they can get you on Facebook mostly.
Yeah.
Lydia Tett Olet. That is the name to find her. And Lydia, talk about your shows briefly.
Oh yes, so every Wednesdays I do shows. Of course, we do shows every Monday here with Benjamin, and then every Wednesdays as well I do a show. I concentrate more about domestic violence and child molestation, but I do talk about everything that cuts across, but mostly is domestic violence and child molestation. That I do that every Wednesdays. Apart from that, I just do some clips now and then.
Okay, good.
And
Thank
I
you
have
so
an
much.
event coming up, Kenya and Friends in the Park. Yay.
Kenyan events. Kenya
and Friends in the Park coming up on the 25th and 26th of June.
All right, good. I will be a part and parcel of that, and looking forward
Of course.
to that. Yeah. Thank you, Lydia. Enjoy your night and have a beautiful evening. Thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you.
Thank you. And all the viewers, thank you so much too. All right, that marks the end of this discussion. Remember to follow me also on my Facebook page. And those who have been buying stars, thank you so much. You can always buy stars if you're watching right now, and the discussion was very good. Click on the star buttons. I need those stars. Those stars motivate me to keep going and doing these shows. Until next Monday, wherever you are as a parent, whether you're your children or they are far away from you, may the same God that blesses and protects our children do the same to you and give you wisdom, courage, and determination to raise your children to be the best citizens in this world ever. You are doing your best. Don't give up. Sometimes you will doubt your parental skills, but with these videos and more encouragement, I believe your children will turn out to be okay. Nobody's perfect. There's no perfect parent in this world. We only try to do our best. So you do your part, and may your children do their part. Thank you, and thank you for your time. See you next Monday. Goodbye, everyone, and enjoy your day, your night, or your evening. Thank you so much for watching.